What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the broadcast. On today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I build a temporary, not temporary, construction driveway access. We've got our fabric, we've got Old Yeller, the excavator, and Orville, the single axle Ford dump truck. I do still have to go pick up 6-inch single wall pipe, and we'll head down to the job and we will go over it with you when we get there. We have arrived at our destination. Parking brake is set. You can see this is just a gorgeous property. We've got our 6-inch pipe up there, got our fabric, beautiful pond. Right here is our project. So the issue that has been had apparently through here stays wet. All this muddy, well, it's not muddy now, but it was, and you can see how soft it was. Apparently, this area stays wet. So we're gonna fix that, maybe. I'm hoping that it was just really wet season when they looked at this property and it's fairly dry. I mean, walking on it feels pretty firm. They put this line up to keep people from coming in here. Apparently they about got stuck. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna test the ground. How am I gonna do it? I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna leave that excavator on the trailer and I'm gonna freaking send it right up to the little, what's gonna be a chateau. And if we don't sink, it's all good. If we sink, we'll know we've got our work cut out for us. That'll indicate just how much road bond I need to put over the fabric. So it's really no big deal. What my thinking is they've got some water coming down through here and it looks like it's running across right here too. But this is what I'm thinking is our problem area. You can see from water standing that, you can see this is sunk in. My thinking is we're going to put our road right up through here and I'll be able to see the tracks that my truck leaves, and that'll be our guide for building the road. This being a temporary road, I'm not going to pull the sod up. I'm not going to pull the topsoil up. I'm going to put fabric right down on top of it. Now you do, when you're going to do this, if you're going to do it, mow the grass as low as you can get it. The reason being is it's gorgeous up here, but they're going to be doing a lot of construction back there. So what we have to do is get access for construction workers. This place would be an absolute mess if we don't do this. Now, by doing the fabric, you could leave it permanent. They have an option to leave it permanent. The reason that I like doing the fabric, one, it'll strengthen this area. Two, if they decide they want their grass back, I can come back with the excavator and grading bucket, scrape up all the road bond, load it into the truck, haul it wherever I need to, or use it somewhere else on this site. And then I can pull that fabric up and all my topsoil's still there. And I bet you anything it wouldn't be too long before grass started growing on it again. Grass is pretty resilient. So let's freaking send it. We made it. We didn't sink at all. I'm happy about that. Extremely happy about it. This road really isn't even leaning that bad right here. So, right on, right on. This is gonna go really well, I think. I think we're gonna knock this out fairly quickly. Now you can see where my tracks are. They come down through here. This was a part of a driveway, so it's humped up. Water is going to catch right here and it's going to run right down to here. Now water any water that collects up there in this area and hits the road is going to slide down the edge of this road to this area. So I'm going to mark my spot for my catch basin, and we're just going to run it straight out. I'm not using a huge catch basin just because it's not necessary. Right here. The biggest thing is water to get into this and be able to drain this area. If it's really holding water bad, let's line up our double wall plastic. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah. Yeah, that looks good. I'm happy with that. Cool. Let's mark it. There's my phone. And a paint. Sweet. Now for all the negative Nancy's that are like, you're running that water right behind that retaining wall. Well, it pays to observe. Number one, that wall is kind of failing anyway, but this rock indicated to me that there's probably a French drain back here, and sure enough, they've got a really good French drain. They've got 1, 2, 4-inch pipes. That's 8 inches. And when we build this road and build it up, all that water that was coming down here anyway is just being transferred to that catch basin for the most part. And it's being put right back out. And this water's not going to travel all that way. That pipe extends out both sides, I'm sure. If it didn't, I'd be a little surprised. Yep, see, right there. All right, let's paint this thing. My excavator being as big as it is, the smallest bucket I've got for it is a 2-foot. I believe this is I want to say it's a 15-inch basin. Oh yeah. I'm just going to dot this side so I kind of know. Y'all can't see that. Just to give me kind of a idea of which side I want to mainly use. This ground's actually feeling pretty firm. Excellent. Let's dig. Now I was able to jack around and turn the truck and trailer around, but one thing to watch when you're in an area that you've been told it's wet and soft, one thing to look for is this when you're backing around in grass. If your tread is grabbing and pulling grass out and you see moisture, that moisture on your tires, you need to be really light on that throttle. Just be light touched. If you're in a manual drive, I would put it in low gear and just creep along, because as soon as you spin out, you're going to collect mud and dirt into your tracks, then you're stuck. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the truck out of here before I dig that trench, because if I do dig in to wet ground, by the time I get all the way to the quarry and back with some road bond, that dirt will have time to dry out. Step number 1. Now right here, I am going to strip the grass off just a wee bit. My lines are a little crooked because my daggum pipe was a little crooked, so we'll just pull a straight line as best we can. Pipe's been, it'll lay right in a crooked trench, won't it? That's some pretty hard ground if you ask me. It's not horrible, that's for sure. We've dealt with far worse, haven't we, folks? And a nice little sod pile down here. Doesn't take long to dig a 20-foot trench, that's for sure. There we go. Now, we got our sod on that side. Let's just, I think if I just dig, let me get myself level. If I just kind of dig straight in, I think by the time I get to where the tracks are going to be, we will have the pipe deep enough to where it won't get crushed. There's some rock and gravel in that. Of course, every bit of this may have been underwater at one ancient time. Do is leave that bottom just a little bit soft so my pipe can sink in. If I need to, my first load of road bond I can bring and put on top of the pipe. We're going to let the catch basin determine exactly where that pipe goes. We're going to have to go quite a bit deeper. That may have been it right there with this rock. Let's see how that basin looks. I think that's going to be pretty good. Let's just see. Well, I may have got just a fuzz too deep. Let's see. I want it below grade by about that much. So that's pretty good. Let me get that bottom squared away and we'll get the sucker installed. Now with these basins, you've got these adapters and you can use them, but to get a 6-inch, to get the bell end to go in, I make 4 slices at 3, 6, 9, and 12 o'clock. And then you can take it, let's see if I can get my shadow out the way, and you can squeeze it. And this little lip will hang in there. On this particular case, I did end up just trimming the bell off, and I split just a couple of the ribs on that double wall pipe because with a double wall pipe, they're not as flexible. So, and I had to trim those notches around the outside just a little, but now it's a perfect fit and it's really locked on there good. By the time we get dirt packed around this and it covered, that pipe will never come out. Alrighty. Let's get to covering just a touch. Oh. that's interesting. That little install went pretty well. I'll end up cleaning a little bit of that because I want to coat around that with road bond pretty good. I got my pipe buried, and that was a double wall. I was able to reuse the sod to kind of patch back together. A couple of rains, that grass will grow. Now, if I backed a fully loaded truck across this, it probably would crush it right now, because starting here, actually, let's do the travel area. As far as travel way, there's only about 3 or 4 inches of material over the pipe there. Now up here, we probably got 5 inches of cover. The good thing is we're gonna put 6 inches of road bond down. That's 6 inches compacted. I think it's 90 tons to do this 200 feet or so. And that will give us lift all the way across the travel portion to where they can have fully loaded trucks come and deliver all they want. And of course, we'll have our fabric down to help with that. I'm just gonna park the trailer down here somewhere, and we'll run and get some road bond and get this thing going. This job done pretty quick, I think. That stuff right into the middle, and then I'm going to blade it on up here. I'm going to thin this down pretty good just to get the whole road covered, and then I can always thicken it up later. Howdy-ho! Worried about that fabric getting crinkled a little bit, because even if I kept it pulled out straight and pushed the material onto it, just because there's grass there, it's going to settle a little bit uneven, but not too badly, I don't think. Let's go ahead and track all this in. in and then shovel some material around my catch basin there, and we'll see where that gets us for the day. That does it for today, friends. You guys be sure to drop me a like, comment, and subscribe to see the rest of this road build done. This is definitely the biggest part of it, but the next bits will be pretty fun and it'll look really cool afterwards. If that wind won't do that every time. No problem. I'm just going to roll out as much as I can work with each load. This right here was about 8-9 tons of material. I wish I had a water hose somewhere around here so I could just run water in that catch basin to let you guys see it working. We've got it run out here to the French drain. I think it's going to work really, really well. You guys have a great day, and we will see you on the next one.